You open your dating app, swipe left, swipe right, swipe, and suddenly you realize you've spent 47 minutes judging humanity like a fast food drive-thru. Ooh, loves existential philosophy and owns a cat. Must be my soulmate. Ooh, watches reality TV, has 3 dogs. Pass, pass, pass. But here's the question that should make your thumb stop mid-swipe. Are you connecting, or are you just browsing a digital catalog of humans? And more importantly, is this ruining your soul? Every swipe is a moral decision, even if your moral compass currently only points toward cute dog pics. Today, we're diving into the philosophy of the swipe, where humor meets ethics and your dopamine hits meet existential dread. Let's start with Immanuel Kant, who, despite having zero online dating experience, understood something crucial. Humans are ends in themselves, not means to pleasure, validation, or dopamine. What does that mean in plain English? It means, don't treat people like objects. And yes, your dating app probably encourages the exact opposite. You're scrolling through faces and bios like items in a catalog. 5'10", loves sushi, owns a cat, added to cart. You stare at a profile with the intensity of a NASA scientist monitoring a Mars landing. Enjoys long walks, deep conversations, is lactose intolerant. Acceptable. Swipe right. You're not connecting. You're collecting dopamine. Over time, if every interaction is transactional, you risk eroding your empathy. Your brain starts saying, people are optional. Validation is mandatory. Kant would probably sigh at your swipe history, shake his powdered wig, and mutter, "You call that morality?" Why is it so hard to stop swiping? Because your brain is being hacked. Dating apps exploit the same neural pathways as slot machines and cat videos. Each match delivers a dopamine hit. Each pass, a mini existential crisis. And because humans are tragically predictable, we keep coming back. Alas, the notification bell told not for me. I am alone, unmatched, a tragic hero in a digital age. Existential philosophers would have a field day here. Sartre might say, "You are condemned to swipe." Camus would shrug and sip his absurdist coffee. The swipe must go on. The result? We start prioritizing short-term validation over authentic connection. We're living for tiny dopamine hits instead of meaningful interaction. And don't get me started on the endless paradox of choice. Millions of profiles, infinite options, and yet somehow everyone seems disappointing. Modern dating behavior can be ethically dubious. Ghosting, breadcrumbing, and other euphemisms for "please stop being a human for a minute" are rampant. Ghosting, the ultimate micro-dehumanization. Someone opens their heart, or at least their thumbs, and poof, you vanish like a magician in a poorly planned show. Breadcrumbing, leaving tiny non-committal signals of interest just enough to keep someone emotionally hooked. It's like dangling a carrot for fun. Oh, cruel, heartless swipe! I am left unmatched in the void. How dost thou leave me here in digital limbo, bereft of replies? Philosophically, this isn't just mean, it's a problem for virtue. Aristotle argued that virtue is habited, not a one-time choice. If we make empathy optional and ghosting habitual, our moral muscles atrophy. We become callous swipers, numb to the humanity behind each profile picture. Zygmunt Bauman would call it liquid love. Relationships are ephemeral, disposable, and consumer-like. Dating apps transform intimacy into a supermarket aisle where every human is a product and your thumb is the cashier. While on the opposite side, sociologist Anthony Giddens would notice that apps encourage pure relationships, emphasizing choice and negotiation over traditional commitment. The psychology behind swiping is just as grim as it is hilarious. Researchers have found that endless exposure to dating profiles leads to decision fatigue. Your brain literally becomes worse at making good choices after a few hundred swipes. A study from Stanford University found that after evaluating dozens of profiles, participants started relying on superficial traits like appearance rather than deeper compatibility. The very tools designed to expand our romantic universe can make us less thoughtful and more impulsive. Meanwhile, social comparison exacerbates anxiety. Seeing endless images of perfectly curated lives can spike stress hormones and lower self-esteem. Everyone is smiling on vacation. Why am I here in my pajamas? The swipe culture may amplify feelings of inadequacy, making humans collectively exhausted, insecure, and a little more cynical. The modern paradox: dating apps can also increase access to potential partners. People in underrepresented communities, rural areas, or busy work schedules now have options they didn't before. They can connect with people they'd never meet offline. They can find someone who shares an obscure hobby, a sense of humor, or just a love of tacos at 2 a.m. Yet convenience has a hidden cost. When connection becomes effortless, we might treat it as disposable. We swipe like we're testing new ice cream flavors, exciting in the moment, but ultimately unsatisfying. Bauman's liquid love strikes again. Intimacy is flexible, optional, and easily discarded. Let's also talk about emotional labor. Your heart isn't the only thing working overtime. Your brain is too. Composing clever opening messages, managing rejections, ghosting without guilt, and keeping up the illusion of an attractive persona is exhausting. Hochschild would nod solemnly while writing a thesis on our collective digital heartbreak. And then there's the paradox of rejection. In traditional dating, rejection is rare and personal. In the digital era, rejection is constant, impersonal, and gamified. Each swipe left can feel like a judgment on your worth. The cumulative effect: higher rates of anxiety, depressive symptoms, and sometimes even existential dread. Psychological research links frequent online dating activity to increased stress and loneliness, proof that dopamine alone doesn't feed the soul. So, what would some practical tips for surviving this digital dating jungle be? Pause before swiping. Humans aren't just dopamine triggers. Give yourself a second to consider: am I swiping for connection or for validation? Reflect on intentions. Ask yourself why you're here. Seeking love, fun, ego boost? Honesty with yourself is a moral act. Embrace rejection. It's uncomfortable, but it develops resilience and empathy. If every swipe is about avoiding pain, you're missing the ethical lesson. Practice digital mindfulness. Notice when your thumb is racing ahead of your brain. Conscious swiping equals conscious living. There's a human cost to objectification and endless validation loops in the forms of emotional exhaustion. Swiping for hours burns empathy and patience. Existential fatigue, the paradox of infinite choice, makes meaningful connection feel impossible. And cultural shifts. Our collective approach to dating is evolving, and not always for the better. I've swiped through 472 humans. My thumb is sore, my soul slightly crumpled. Do I even like people anymore? Or just profiles with dogs? Philosophically, this touches on a core question. What does it mean to connect as a human being in the 21st century? Dating apps can amplify both the beauty and the absurdity of human interaction. So next time you open your dating app, remember, behind every profile is a person. They have hopes, fears, and probably really bad Wi-Fi. Treat them as an end in themselves, not a scrolling distraction. Your thumb may be quick, but your empathy should be quicker. Swipe ethically, laugh at yourself, connect deliberately, and maybe, just maybe, find someone who makes you want to put the app down for 5 minutes. Imagine Kant watching your swipe history. He's raising an eyebrow, judging your soul, and probably sighing.
Thank you for watching. If you want to know more, subscribe to our channel and question your mind daily.